Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Even the ultimate human. Under such power, there is no resistance, and he will be beaten into a puddle of rotten meat. Kakaka. At this time, a strange voice caught everyone's attention. This voice came from Sheng. It was the sound of his neck bent back at an exaggerated angle. Sheng's head snapped back little by little, and his broken limbs started moving again. Like a pile of scattered parts, reunited little by little, start crackling. In just a few breaths, his body that had been beaten to the point of being riddled with holes by the guide quickly recovered as before. Still perfect. Still powerful. Sheng rested his chin with one hand and pressed the top of his head with the other. Crack. The last bit of misalignment has also been corrected. Sheng twisted his neck casually, his eyes fell back on the dark blonde long-haired man, and calmly said, "Yes, I now believe that you are not a sissy. But still too light." As the last word was uttered, Sheng's whole body suddenly burst into flames. On him, it seems that 1,000 volcanoes erupted at the same time. Boom. A circle of white air waves visible to the naked eye spread out from around Sheng's body. He jumped up high, his posture was arrogant, with an extremely wild, extremely domineering attitude. From top to bottom, he punched the dark blonde long-haired man fiercely. "Let me tell you." "What?" "It's called pain." In the deep eyes, the radiance to the extreme is blooming, as if the fire of 2 rounds of scorching sun is spewing out. It reflected Sheng's mad face. In the body, a full 360 immortal cells had ignited a raging divine flame. The stellar vein diagram in the flesh and blood is all lit up in 1,000th of a second, filled, and continues to extend further and deeper, growing. On the almost perfect 9-footed martial body, golden lines appeared quietly one after another. Gather in the heart, gather in the forehead. When Sheng went from standing still to jumping up and punching, he seemed to have completed the transformation from a mortal to a god. His eyes are extremely bright, and his body is covered with mysterious and gorgeous tattoos. An unimaginable heat wave radiated from his whole body. He was enveloped in endless golden light. Beneath this dark sky, he is a star. He is the sun. An extremely bright punch. Following the veins between heaven and earth, it represents the rules of how the world works. For the first time, a shocked expression appeared on the face of the dark blonde long-haired man. His pupils contracted and his hands were crossed in front of him. Boom. A black hole appeared high in the sky. Countless tiny black lightning bolts beat on the edge of the black hole. The dark blonde long-haired man kept retreating. The 2 palms that were used for resistance kept collapsing. Crack knock. The curtain of the sky was torn open, revealing large swathes of black. The sea level below stirred up 10,000 meters of waves, obscuring the sky. It was quickly evaporated by the unimaginable high temperature, turned into a vast mist, and then dispersed and disappeared. The dark blonde long-haired man has been retreating thousands of meters away. But he didn't wait for him to react. Sheng, who is like a god, has appeared in front of him again. Following the veins of the sky, the extremely bright fists continue to blast. A full 365 immortal cells. All ignite the fire of divinity. This power, even Sheng himself would tremble for it, and he could hardly control it. Sheng is crazy. He's been looking forward to this fight for far too long. What is the most painful thing in the world? It is the height of the cold, and there is no opponent. Sheng felt this deep emptiness and loneliness when his immortal cells reached 278. In such a huge planet, there is no one who can make him fight a battle without any hassle. Now, he finally had a chance to vent this power. How not to get excited? How can you not have fun? Boom boom boom. The situation is completely reversed. This time, the one who was reduced to a sandbag turned into a dark blonde long-haired man. He was losing ground under Sheng's almost stormy offensive, leaving only 4.3 parry strength. Every punch of Sheng carries a mighty force that pierces the heavens and the earth, like divine might, like divine punishment. The eyelids of the ninth-level onlookers watched wildly, and their heartbeats reached more than 500 beats per minute. Everyone was swallowing hard. Feel the scalp tingling, palms and feet cold. This power has exceeded the limit of their imagination. Any punch that landed on either of them would not have a second result. Only, die. Is this the ultimate power in the real world? Someone murmured, sweat dripping from his forehead. Enough. Boom. At this time, a group of fires suddenly burst out. Sheng stepped back a few steps, stood slowly in the void, looked at the dark blonde long-haired man in front of him calmly. His wrists were still moving slowly, and he seemed to be preparing for the next round of offensive. The dark blonde long-haired man was panting violently, his figure a little embarrassed. His eyes were fixed on Sheng. His face was a little ugly, but there was a strong shock and disbelief in his eyes. He opened his mouth. You're not level 10, nor level 9, you're level 8. You are. Extraordinary life physique. The dark blonde long-haired man's words seemed to have a nuclear bomb in between. Boom. All the martial saints at the scene were a little stunned. Grade 8. Sheng is only level 8? One person beat their global martial saint level master to the ground and made them invincible. Just relying on the projection of will, he almost beat the silver-haired martial saint Cumberland to the point of being out of his body. Even now, the 10th level guide is still being beaten violently. Such a character is only level 8. No wonder he never showed his martial arts body. I thought he was disdainful, but I didn't expect. A 9th level martial saint was in a trance and muttered, he is only 8th level. Once the 9th level martial saint was all numb, there was only one word left in his mind that couldn't stop circling, defying the sky. It can only be used to describe Sheng with the sky-defying level. It is impossible to imagine how their tiny blue planet could breed such monsters. So much so that they didn't listen to what the leaders said later. Extraordinary life physique? Sheng caught the term, narrowed his eyes slightly, and looked at the leader in front of him. The guide finally calmed down, but Sheng's eyes were still burning. It's like discovering a rather rare thing, with many surprises in the unexpected. Definitely an extraordinary life physique. Otherwise, how could a normal 8th level possess such terrifying strength? It looks like you've dug up a lot. I didn't expect that a starry sky treasure level talent like you could be born on a small 18 resource star. What is the physique of extraordinary life? Sheng's eyes flickered, and he asked. The transition of the innate life level, the sublimation of genes, the super treasure given by the universe starry sky. Sheng was speechless. It's not like you didn't say these few words. However, he can probably guess that the guide should be referring to his star indestructible. Really? From the moment the star's immortal body was born, Sheng's life level was already different from that of ordinary people. Completely entered another level, and the immortal cells are still pulling this new level up. No wonder it's so successful. The guide said with a smile, you are not born to belong to this planet, you are destined to go to the starry sky. I don't want the energy crystal this time, you can keep it for yourself, but... Your people, you have to come with me. Where? Sheng felt a little uncomfortable. The war he started with great difficulty has now begun to slowly subside. The dense dark clouds in the sky gradually dispersed, and there was a tendency to gradually clear up. The most important thing is that the fighting spirit on the dark blonde long-haired man in front of him disappeared. It's so awkward. Nature is to go to a wider world. This planet has buried you, and it can't hold you. The guide's eyes were shining, and he said with a smile, you won't tell me, you never had the dream of the sea of stars in your heart. Sheng was silent. He thought about it and looked up. With a serious expression, he said to the guide, I'll talk about these things later, I just want to have a good fight with you now. The guide looked stunned, and quickly said thoughtfully, I see, you lack pressure, right? Indeed, the physique of extraordinary life is too deep, 10 million times that of ordinary people. This planet can't even provide you with the pressure of breaking through the 9th level. The guide nodded rejoicingly, and the momentum spread out from his body quickly condensed. He looked at Lu Sheng with a natural expression, stretched out 2 fingers, and said solemnly, I will put pressure on you now, plus the energy crystals that I sent you. You owe me twice, and you have to pay me back in the future. Oh yes, remember my name. The leader's lips opened and closed, and several syllables entered Lu Sheng's ears. Literally translated, it should be, Lan Chen. Ro. Lu Sheng twisted his neck, and his face showed the eagerness to fight again. But I couldn't help but complain. This leader named Lan Chen is really a bit girly and has enough mother-in-law. Even the favors he gave out had to be listed one by one with others, and he was speechless. It is good. The guide showed satisfaction on his face, nodded, and then his expression completely calmed down. You have to be careful, next I will show you the true strength of the 10th level. The guide said to Lu Sheng in a positive tone. Bring it on. Lu Sheng twisted his neck, and his fists collided slightly, making a dull metal bumping sound. His eyes were bright, and his eyebrows flashed with anticipation and excitement, and he said word by word, as much as possible beat me to death. After just fighting for a short while, Lu Sheng felt that the mental power humanoid and martial body in his mind had merged by nearly 1/3. He did not know how many years of hard work. After a few more strokes, it is estimated that it will be fully integrated. By the time he faced the 9th level, and the only thing left was the final step of condensing the martial arts brand. What a lunatic, possessing an extraordinary life physique, is his brain structure different from that of ordinary people? The guide, the dark blonde long-haired man, read out the anticipation and excitement in Lu Sheng's eyes, and shook his head. Then, lightly point towards Lu Sheng. This is unremarkable, dotted with ripples in the air. It was as if a finger was lightly tapped on the calm water. But under this dullness, Lu Sheng saw an unimaginable horror. Massive, condensed between the 2 fingers of heaven and earth. It is completely different from the feeling of a 9th-level martial sage grasping the world, condensing the body of the law, and throwing it up and smashing people. The realm and skills are more than 100 times more sublime. It's inheritance. It's also the true meaning of the 10th level. Lu Sheng's eyes rose sharply, and his expression was faintly excited. He knew how to walk the 10th level Dao. The 9th level is the fusion of spirit, energy and spirit into a furnace, thus condensing the martial arts. And 10th. It is to refine the body of martial arts and law back to his own martial body again. In this process, the control and grasp of the situation of heaven and earth is more than 100 times more than the 9th level. It is no exaggeration to say that the power of the forces of heaven and earth controlled by 9th level warriors is cotton wool. And 10th. It is stainless steel, solid iron. The two are too different in quality, and it is not enough to describe them with stones and eggs. I like to hit hard like this. Lu Sheng grinned, revealing his white teeth. The true meaning of martial arts lies in fighting. Life doesn't stop, fight doesn't stop. He likes and enjoys the feeling of the blade coming, the scalp is numb, and the blood is boiling.